The gloves slipped from her hands without a sound, as if the morning itself had decided to interfere. One moment they were warm against her fingers, the next they were tumbling through the cold air, dark shapes spinning slowly before landing on the damp pavement. As she stopped short, irritation flaring in her chest. It was one of those mornings when everything already felt slightly wrong, the alarm ringing too early, the tea to wake, the sky hanging low and colorless as like an unfinished act. Losing the gloves felt like the final, unnecessary insult. As she bent to pick them up and froze. They had landed at the feet of a woman as she hadn't noticed a second before. The woman stood very still, as if she had always been there and the world had simply failed to acknowledge her until now. As she wore layers of fabric in deep, impossible colors, wine red, midnight blue, flashes of gold thread catching the pale light. A scarf wrapped around her hair, but strands of silver black curls escaped and framed a face lined not by ash but by stars. Her eyes were dark and steady, reflecting something deeper than the grey street around them. I'm sorry, as she said quickly, the words automatic. Those are mine. The woman did not move right away. As she looked down at the gloves, then back up, studying her with a calm that felt oddly intimate, as if she were being read like an open book. When she finally smiled, it was slow and gentle, not the polite smile of a stranger but the knowing one of someone who had been expecting this exact moment. They fell where they needed to fall, the woman said softly. Her accent was hard to place, familiar and foreign at the same time. The voice itself was warm, carrying a musical rhythm that made the simple sentence linger in the air longer than it should have. As she frowned slightly, you knew how to respond. I am in a hurry, as she said, glancing at her watch. I really need them back. Instead of handing over the gloves, the woman bent and picked them up, brushing off an invisible speck of dust. Her fingers were long, adorned with thin silver rings that chimed faintly as they touched. As she held the gloves between them but did not release them yet. A hurry is not the same as importance, as she said. Tell em, child, where are you running? Something about the question disarmed her. As she opened her mouth to jive the simple answer, work, office, deadlines, but the words tangled on the way out. Images rose instead, the narrow desk by the window, the blinking cursor on the screen, the endless cycle of days that felt identical no matter how carefully she tried to change them. I don't know, she admitted quietly. Forward, I guess. The woman nodded, as if this were the most honest answer she could have given. As she gestured toward the nearby bench, old wood darkened by years of rain. Sit, as she said. A minute taken now will save you money later. As she hesitated, every sensible part of her mind protested. As she was talking to a stranger, as she was late, this was ridiculous. And yet, her feet moved toward the bench as if they had been given instructions her mind hadn't heard. As she sat, stiff at first, then slowly relaxing as the woman joined her, the skirts whispering as she sat beside her. The street around them seemed to dim, sounds growing distant, as though a thin veil had been drawn between this small moment and the rest of the city. Cars passed, people walked by, but none of them seemed to look their way. You dropped your gloves, the woman said, placing them gently in her lap. But that was not the first thing you dropped today. Her heart skipped. What do you mean? The woman reached into a worn leather pouch at her side and pulled out a small mirror, its surface clouded with ash. As she angled it toward her, not so as she could see her reflection clearly, but enough to catch fragments, an eye, a curve of cheek, the teeth set of her mouth. You dropped your pattiness, the woman continued. Your curiosity, and long ago, you dropped a promise you made to yourself. A chill ran through her, unrelated to the cold. You don't know the woman's smile returned, softer now. I know the way your hands shake when you think no one is watching. I know you still hear music when the world is quiet, even though you pretend you don't. And I know you honest believed your life would be more. Her throat tightened. As she stared at the gloves, suddenly unable to look at the woman's face. Everyone feels like that sometimes. Yes, the woman agreed. But not everyone listens when the world tries to speak. As she closed the mirror and tucked it away. For a moment, they sat in silence, the air between them thick with unseen things. Then the woman reached for a small wooden flute hanging from a cord around her neck. It looked old, smothered by countless hands, etched with symbols worn nearly invisible by time. I do not ask for money, as she said, sensing the unspoken question. Only attention. Before she could respond, the woman lifted the flute to her lips and began to play. The sound was unlike any music she had heard before. It was simple, almost fragile, but it carried a weight that pressed gently against her chest. Notes rose and fell like breathing, weaving images into her mind without effort. As she saw herself as a child, running through tall grasses, lying for no reason other than the joy of movement. As she saw doors as she had closed without realizing it, paths as she had turned away from because they seemed too uncertain, too frightening. Her eyes burned with sudden tears. As she did not try to stop them. When the music faded, the street sounds rushed back in all at once, the hum of engines, distant voices, the city reclaiming its place. The woman lowered the flute and watched her carefully. You are standing at the edge of a change, as she said. Whether you step forward or turn away is up to you. But know this, small moments are never small. Take a kiss. A key to what? As she asked, her voice barely steady. The woman rose, adjusting her scarf. To the door you have been pretending not to see. As she turned to leave, then paused and looked back once more. Keep your gloves, as she said. And keep your eyes open tidy. The world will answer you, if you let it. Before she could say anything else, the woman melted into the flow of the street, colors dissolving into grey until she was gone entirely. As she sat there for a long moment, gloves clutched in her hands, heart pounding as if she had just wakened from a vivid dream. When she finally stood and continued on her way, the morning felt different. The sky was still grey, the air still cold, but somewhere beneath it all, a quiet sense of anticipation had taken root, as if the day itself were holding its breath, waiting to see what she would do next. As she walked the rest of the way in a strange, fragile silence, as though the city had turned down its volume just for her. Every step felt deliberate, weighted with meaning as she called and quit name. The gloves were warm against her palms, warmer than they had any right to be, and as she kept flexing her fingers as if to make sure they were real. At the office entrance, the glass doors reflected her back at herself. For a moment, as she barely recognized the woman staring out from the surface, some caught, some teared eyes, yet something had shifted. There was a looseness in her shoulders, a spark of alertness, as if a light had been switched on somewhere deep inside. As she almost turned away then, almost chose to walk past the building and keep going, just to see where her fate might take her. The habit of years, however, nudged her forward. The morning passed in fragments. Emails arrived and were answered. Meetings blurred into one another. Words were spoken that sounded important but dissolved as soon as they were said. And yet, beneath it all, as she felt a quiet pull, a constant reminder of the woman's voice and the music that had opened something in her chest. As she caught herself staring out the window more than once, watching clouds drift as if they were carrying messages meant only for her. At lunch, as she found the gloves in her bag and took them out again, turning them over. Something small fell from one of them and landed on the table with a soft click. As she stared at it, heart skipping. A key. It was old, brass dulled by time. It stayed cut in a pattern as she had never seen before. As she was certain it hadn't been there that morning. Her first instinct was to load it off, to tell herself someone must have dropped it earlier, that stress was making her imagine things. But when she picked it up, A familiar warmth spread through her fingers, the same warmth as he had felt when the music played. All afternoon, the key seemed to tug at her thoughts. By the time he left work, the sky had darkened, the city lights flickering on one by one. Without quite deciding to, he chunked her soul route home. Her fate led her through narrow streets, past older buildings with cracked stone and iron balconies twisted into delicate shapes. The air smelled different here, dust and rain and something faintly sweet. As he stopped in front of a building as he had passed 100 times without noticing. Its door was heavy wood, scarred and faded, set into a stone archway. There was no sign, no number, just a single lock beneath the handle. Her breath caught the key. The door opened into a small, dimly lit space that felt less like a room and more like a pause between moments. Shelves lined the walls, filled with objects that seemed ordinary at first glance, books, mirrors, boxes, instruments, until he looked closer and felt the subtle hum of stories trapped inside them. At the center of the room stood the woman from the morning, as if he had never left. "You come," the woman said, not surprised at all. "I didn't know where else to go," he admitted. The woman nodded approvingly. "That is how it always begins." He gestured for her to stay inside. As the door closed behind her, the city noise vanished completely. The woman approached and placed a gentle hand over her heart. "This happens only once," he said. "Not the door behind you, but the one within. After Taddy, you will not see him again. But you will not need to." Fear and excitement tangled together in her chest. What happens now? The woman smiled, and for the first time, there was a hint of sadness in her eyes. "Now, you choose." He stepped back, and the room seemed to breathe, shelves glowing softly, objects whispering with possibility. He felt the weight of years pressing against her, the soft chores, the quiet compromises, the dreams he had folded away like old letters. Slowly, deliberately, he closed her eyes and listened. When he opened them again, the woman was gone. The room was empty, the door unlocked, the key cool and still in her hand. But something inside her had shifted forever. He stepped back into the night with a steady heart and a new awareness. The city looked the same, yet it no longer felt indifferent. Somewhere in its endless streets, doors waited, some hidden, some obvious, all requiring courage instead of keys. He slipped the gloves back on and walked forward, not running this time, but moving with purpose, carrying the quiet certainty that the life he had been waiting for had already begun the moment he stopped to pick them up.